So, after telling you all that, would you throw up a wire on the wires that's on the light poles and attach your television set to that? Would you do that? I certainly, you know, before I tell you what I would do, let's start the channel introduction. So you have a solar panel, one that you either bought or you receive as a gift from a friend. And you want to know if it can power anything inside your home. You were told that it's 450 watts and you figured that it must can operate the fan or even a television set, so that you no longer have to rely on that power company. You found out that your television set needs only 200 watts. So you figured that the 450 watts panel can operate the television set and a few other items in and around the home. Looking on the panel, you are wondering where to set up the plug connection on the solar panel you received, as it had a black wire or two leading wires from the panel itself. Let's think of the solar panel like a pole, and that pole has electrical wires coming from the grid. Now, this wire enters our homes, but first it has to be connected to the pothead on the roof or on a high column. The wires then leave the pothead and enter the electricity meter, where it then leaves to the panel box inside your homes. After the wires enter the panel box, these are then sent to the plugs and the receptacles so that you can plug in the television set and even screw a light bulb in the receptacle so that the house will be well lit at nights. So, after telling you all that, would you throw a wire up on the wires that's on the pole and attach your television set to that? Would you do that? I certainly would not. The thing about solar panels is that solar panels will need something to cut down that voltage that you will get from it normally. And that is done by the charge controller and the batteries and even the inverter if you are off grid, or even the grid itself when it reaches the panel box. The thing is, you really need something to stabilize that voltage that is coming from the panels. Now, if you are still not convinced that the panel alone won't work, let's look on the pros and cons of using a solar panel directly. Let's look on the pros first. Well, for the pros, it can be said that you're really one step closer to getting a system, as you already have a panel or two. Don't feel that because you can't use a panel directly, it is useless. No, it isn't useless. And with the right addition, those panels that you have or the ones that you receive will be very much useful. Don't throw them away. Now, the second pros is whatever solar power system that you decide to get, it will be a bit cheaper for you as you already have those panels. Think of it. If the entire system costs, say, $1 million, and when you look on that pro forma invoice that you receive, it requires 10 panels and you have 5 out of that. And those 10 panels will cost you $50,000 each. Remember, you already got 5. So when you really look at it, you'll be saving $250,000. So it will be cheaper. So don't throw it away. Now we're moving on to the cons. Now, really, which I've already told you that without additional equipment to really stabilize that voltage, you really face the risk of either one, too much, or two, too little voltage going to whatever it is that you're powering up. Now, another cons is without having batteries for those panels to charge, then you won't have the power that you really want to use at night or even on those cloudy days. So when you really think about it, in itself alone, it can't work. It's not going to work alone. So if you are using solar panels as an alternative source of energy, it's a great plan. Very great indeed. However, you have to consider other components that will be needed, like the charge controller, inverters, or even batteries. Remember as well, don't throw them away because you have them and you don't have the additional equipment. Remember, I've always been telling you, you can go solar incrementally. So, you have the panels, that's a start. All you have to do is take your time, save your money, and purchase the additional items that you may need. So don't throw them away. And I'll speak to you about the size of your solar panels another time. So take care and go solar, use solar power and go solar, have a solar power plan, and you can move towards it incrementally.